happening now, a major win for Democrats ahead of this year's midterm elections in November. The U.S. Supreme Court yesterday cleared the way for California to use a new voter-approved map designed to benefit Democrats as they push back against the nationwide redistricting war initiated last year by President Trump. Here with us now, CNN's chief Supreme Court analyst, Joan Biskupic. Joan, this ruling comes what, exactly two months after the court granted a request from Texas to use a new map to help Republicans pick up seats there.
Right.
So just how big of a decision is this one?
Right, there's a pattern here, but first of all, just for California and for Democrats, this is a major decision. It means that this new map that they've drawn that could potentially add 5 more Democrats to the House will stay in place for the midterm elections. You remember how this all started when Donald Trump started putting pressure on lawmakers, specifically Texas, starting to redistrict mid-cycle. We're in the middle of a cycle. We're not, right after a census. We're in the middle of a redistricting cycle. And he pressured Texas to redistrict in a way that would help Republicans in that state. Texas did, added 5 more seats. California, in response, drew a new map that could potentially add 5 more Democratic seats. But the case that came up yesterday involved, a challenge to that map brought by California Republicans, saying that this map was drawn along racial lines. Now you can redistrict along partisan lines. The Supreme Court has allowed that, practically encouraged it, but with race, you cannot do that. A lower court said, no, this map was entirely drawn for political reasons, and California Republicans, with the backing of the Trump administration, came to the Supreme Court trying to get this map thrown out, and yesterday, in a brief statement, unsigned, with no recorded dissent, the Supreme Court let that map stand. So as I say, it's a victory for California Democrats, but it was expected because when the Texas map came up with a similar challenge with actually much more evidence of potentially racial gerrymandering, the Supreme Court stayed out of that one too, Wolf.
So what is the overall signal of this latest Supreme Court decision? Will it open the door for a whole bunch of other states to redistrict for political reasons?
Not right now, and not crucially before the 2026 midterms that we've got coming up in November. And that's because the signal we're getting from the justices is that they want to stay out of this for now. They don't want to get too close to the election and affect it. They have a major Voting Rights Act case pending out of Louisiana right now that if they had ruled sooner, if we had gotten that ruling, it could affect the filing period, the primaries in Louisiana. But I think what we're getting combined with the signal from Texas and California and this the kind of postponement, if you will, of what's happening in the Louisiana case is that they do not want their actions to necessarily affect what's going to happen in this election cycle. But Wolf, down the road, the Supreme Court definitely will affect what's going to happen in 2028 with their upcoming decisions.
See, that could be very significant.
Right.
Joan Biskupic, thank you very, very much.